It does not rejoice over unrighteousness, but rejoices with truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. And it says love never fails. You ever had something that failed on you? Your car dropped you off on the side of the road? What if you found a bottle and on the side of it was love and you went by your car and you sprayed it and the car started working? Kids come by, you spray them, start doing good. Husband, you catch him. The point is this: if we apply love, things work. That's Jehovah's admonition to us. Be loving. So, as we discuss how love behaves, we'll consider the example of King David and what we can learn from his life. Now, you may wonder why David. You know, Jehovah said 1,000 years after this man had died that he was a man agreeable to his heart. So Jehovah found something in David that was good. So we'll talk about that. So we'll see reenactments of Bible accounts told from the perspective of Nathan, who was a Bible writer and a true friend to David. The first aspect he discussed was patience. So let's talk about that. Love is patience. One of our publications made this statement: in the biblical sense of the word, patience is more than simply putting up with a trying situation. A person with godly patience endures with a purpose. He sees beyond his own needs and considers the welfare of the one causing a disagreeable situation. For this reason, when a patient person is wronged or provoked, he refuses to give up hope for improvement in the disturbed relationship. Isn't that how Jehovah treats us? Yes, Jehovah is patient with us. And we're imperfect. So there's something standing in our way, right? It's this thing called imperfection. And imperfection in us is like a poison that affects every cell of our body. So at times we may say or do things that offend and hurt others. So how do we deal with that? Jehovah has a permanent fix in store. But until that, he tells us how to mitigate the effects of that poison. Let's go to Colossians chapter 3:13. And notice what he says there in that regard. Colossians chapter 3, verse 13, he makes this statement. He says, continue putting up with one another and forgiving one another freely, even if anyone has a cause of complaint against another. Just as Jehovah freely forgave you, you must also do the same. So it first of all tells us that we have to continue to put up with one another. Now I'm going to illustrate it this way. Suppose, sisters, you took your new husband home and you found out something very strange about him. He started throwing his socks in the corner, took his dirty socks off, just lobbed them in the corner. You look at him and say, what are you doing? Well, sisters, first of all, you cannot return him. Until you house train him, you know what you have to do? The scriptures tell you, continue putting up with him. Because it's not a sin. It's irritating. But then it goes further and escalates the situation, and it says that sometimes an individual may sin against you. Sin in the Bible is likened to a debt. But the scriptures say we freely forgive. Even though they're indebted to us, we tell them, no, you don't owe me. We release the debt. And it gives us a powerful reason why. It says because Jehovah did the same for us. He freely forgives our indebtedness to him. A powerful reason for us to forgive. So being patient will help us to maintain peace, which benefits us as well as the congregation. As you watch the following video, consider how David patiently endured ridicule from Shimei.
Absalom quickly organized a full-scale conspiracy for the throne. He forced his own father, King David, to flee for his life. While David was traveling through Bahirim, Shimei began walking along a mountainside.
Why should this dead dog, Shimei, curse my lord the king? Let me go over, please, and take off his head.
What happened next, Nathan?
Well, David wasn't so quick to act.
Leave him alone! Perhaps Jehovah will see my affliction and will restore goodness to me.
So how can we show patience when someone depends us? Well, don't act rashly. Instead, remember what the scriptures say in Proverbs chapter 19:11. It talks about the insight of a man slowing down his anger. Let me illustrate it this way. What if you got on a train for a peaceful ride home from work, and on the train comes a family, and the kids are just out of control, but the father just sits down dejectedly, puts his head in his hands, and seems to ignore them. And as you look at him, you're upset, and he notices this, so he comes to you and he says, you know what, I'm so sorry that my kids are acting up, disturbing the train. He said, but I just came from the hospital and my wife died, and I don't know how to deal with it, and I guess my kids don't know how to deal with it. And at that point, instantly, your attitude changes from a person who is critical to a person who wants to help. Why? Not because the situation changed, but because now you have insight. You see what you did not see before. So insight helps us to understand why a person may act a certain way, and we can adjust how we respond to him. So that's one way we can show patience. Another is to remember that others lovingly put up with us. And finally, focus on what people will be like when we're perfect. See, Jehovah doesn't see a snapshot of us. Instead, he sees the full-length view of us. Like David, because David could have been labeled as an immoral person and a murderer, but Jehovah didn't see that. He said he's a man agreeable to his heart because he saw the entire life works of David, and he could say that this was a man of my heart. Love is also kind, as the scriptures bring out. We show kindness by helpful acts and considered words. Notice the point there in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 27, and we won't read the entire scripture, but it makes this statement. It says, do not withhold good from those to whom you should give it. Now, who should we give it? You ever wondered about that? I'll illustrate it this way for you. What if someone paid all your bills and then gave you an unlimited bank account in which you could do anything you wanted? And you say to him, how can I repay you?